Hey guys, welcome back to P&W Repair. If you're joining us for the first time, I'm Andy. Behind me we have a Minty 1989 Ford Econoline 350 motorhome. Uh, the unit my mother-in-law just bought, so we're here to get it running and out of here. Stick with us. So, as far as I can tell, last time this motorhomes ran was 2020. At least according to the owner and according to the registration stickers, it was last tagged up until I think June of 2020. So, been a little bit. I came out here the other night after work and I did fire it off on ether. Um, according to the sending unit, there's no fuel in the tank. Whether that's accurate or not, we're going to find out. I brought a couple gallons of gas with me. I did pick up 2 new batteries. So we're going to put the new batteries in and then we'll deal with the fuel system and see where it goes from there. They even fit. That's cool. The cable's not very tight. Probably wouldn't have been a bad idea to bring out some new terminals too, but hindsight's 2020, or so they say. And we have a engine battery and an accessory battery, I think, that probably is for maybe firing the generator and whatever auxiliary power you need. I don't know. I'm not super familiar with RVs. Never owned one personally, so it's a learning curve for me too. Yay. This is, as far as I can tell, according to, we got a belt routing sticker on the hood for 7.5, which is a 460. And I thought for sure, being an 89, that this would be a carbureted 460. Well, it's not. I can see an injector from where I'm standing currently. It's definitely a multi-port injected system. So, I don't know. I know these early 90s models at least had issues with the fuel pumps being complete garbage, like most Ford components. So, guess we'll deal with that hurdle when we get to it, whether or not this pump's any good or whatever. We'll see. We're gonna get some batteries in it and we'll go from there. I know it's not drawing any fuel. I did have jumper box on it already, and either that gauge is accurate and there is actually no fuel in the tank, or the pump's bad. But we need good batteries to establish anything really, so we've got to start somewhere, and batteries is where we will start. Just like any will it start junker project, you usually need a good set of batteries to make anything happen. Luckily, I did not bring a hammer down here with me. I don't know if you can see around me, but my service truck is 2-wheel drive. We're on a hillside, and it's definitely very, very wet out. And I don't plan on getting stuck. So we'll just hammer the terminals on the incorrect way with an adjustable wrench, because that's not bad at all for batteries or anything. And really, I mean, I kind of probably had, I originally came out here, like I said, to look at this for my mother-in-law. She asked that I come out and look at it and give her my honest opinion of it. It was originally listed for $2,000, and after going over it and finding some small problems, I told her I wouldn't give you $2,000 for it personally, but you couldn't really pay me to take a Ford off anyone's lot. After she called previous owner and told him what I found, he instantly offered it to her for $500, at which point I told her if she didn't pick it up, that I would have to drag it home myself. I know, a Ford, right? But once you guys see the interior of this thing and hear it run, I mean, I ran it just feeding it ether, and it's a smooth running 460. So just that alone, $500. Piss that away on dumber things than an RV. So I've actually been in the market for an RV. Good enough deal with me. But $140 in Walmart batteries, and we'll see where that gets us. Okay, so I tried to put a couple gallons in it. It's spitting it right back out the filler neck, so we might have a plugged up vent, or we have to look into that a little more. Knocking on the tank, it doesn't sound like there's much of anything in it. I did key on. I don't have a fuel pressure gauge on the truck right now, but I did key on and went to the Schrader valve on the fuel rail, pushed the Schrader with a screwdriver, squirts fuel so it primed up. I'm going to go ahead, and the fuel that came out of that Schrader, it didn't look good. It's pretty dark and ugly. It's turning back to dead dinosaurs by the look of it. But we're going to do the right thing, hose her down with ether, see if we can get it to fire and maybe clear some of this nasty crap out of the fuel rail, and then we'll deal with the fuel tank issue. But I just want to hear it run. Really fogged the pit out. That was easy. Doesn't even smoke too bad, all that nasty fuel. If you look at that tailpipe, you'll see it mist every once in a while, a puff of smoke. It's nasty fuel, so I got to figure out what I got to do to actually get that tank to suck up some gas. But it runs. That's a start. Sounds pretty decent, actually. So now that I've established that it does run, though it's very low on fuel, I'm going to try to actually pull it up out of its grave closer to the service truck, so I'm not making so many trips back and forth for tools. Fingers crossed, wish me luck. She's got at least one flat tire. The outboard rear dual on the driver's side is completely flat. Hopefully it doesn't come off the rim, but once I get it up to the truck, we can put air in it and see if it'll hold air too. So we're gonna go for it. See what happens. All right. Should be a little easier at this point. Transmission moves, that's also good. Let's see if we're lucky enough for this tire to take air, if I'm gonna have to put ether to that too. I mean, again, it's a Ford. I love their ether. Tires, engine, any old place you can spray it, I guess. I don't know that it actually is off. It didn't actually come off the Jeep though. These are probably at least an 8-ply tire. They're pretty rigid sidewalls. Only a 4-ply. They're actually not a blue range Jeep. Yeah, that's a little light duty for a regular size, I would think. And right here is yeah, the tire's blown out. Got cords coming out the tread over here. Big old gown. Tire's blown, so much for that one taking wind, I guess. This is going to be in at least one new tire. It's a shame, that one actually, the tread looks brand new on it. And it's not all weather checked, so that's what it is, I guess. Okay, so now that I got it up the hill and we're on a little closer to level ground, I went ahead and I started crawling underneath here, trying to distinguish what was black water, what was gray water, and what was fuel. I did figure out fuel tank is actually right up over the rear axle. So the filler neck for the fuel tank is all the way in the rear of the RV. So we have this big, long filler neck that goes all the way up clear to where the axle's at. So when we were parked on the hill and the filler neck was downhill from the tank, I'd get that little bit of fuel into the filler neck to where the filler neck would drop down and then 90 to go forward, and it'd spit it back out the vent, is what was happening. There's no restriction. Now that we're on more level ground, it's taking gas. Leave it to Ford to, think of how to route that filler neck after the rest of the machines put together, or the rest of the RVs put together. Like, why couldn't we do it above the rear wheel? So you didn't have to be on perfectly level ground to fill it up. Kind of a dumb mistake on their part, but whatever. As long as I can get some gas in it, that's all that really matters to me. And I only brought 4 gallons, so I mean, the little bit that was in it was clearly enough to get it up to this point, and it's parked on a hill. So depending on where the pickup is for that fuel pump, I mean, still enough. So this 4 gallons should be enough to dilute it to actually get it to maintain an idle and maybe fire a little easier. At this point, I was going to drive it out of here probably today and take it out to my place. But depending on the condition of the spare, there is a spare tire under here. After I get some gas in it, I'm going to actually pull it out onto the asphalt, and I'll pull that spare out of there. And if the spare is in decent enough condition and it holds air, I'll swap the tires, and then I may end up still taking it out to my place tonight. We'll see. Well, took 2 gallons. See if we can pump this other can in there. And I can actually hear it rolling all the way down that filler neck into that tank. So we're definitely getting something in there. I just hope it's enough to dilute this out. I'm probably going to have to go back to the gas station and get more fuel anyway. I don't think 4 gallons is going to be enough to make my drive. I mean, we're talking about a 460, and I'm currently outside of Gold Hill, Oregon, and probably a good, I'd say at least 15, 20 miles from my house. So I don't think we're going to be able to make that run on 4 gallons, unfortunately. I think this girl's going to be pretty thirsty. Luckily, gasoline's super cheap right now, so you know that 4 gallons was 15 bucks just for 87 octane garbage Oregon fuel. But make do with what you got, I guess. High speed mode. So after I get this all in there, I'm gonna fire it up. I want to see if it'll actually clear the idle up. I want to make sure it doesn't overheat, any of that stuff. I've kind of went over the fluids already. I've checked everything but the transmission fluid. I need to be up on leveler ground for that. I added a half a quart of power steering fluid. It's clearly got a power steering leak somewhere. Weird. Late 80s, early 90s Ford with a power steering light leak. That's the first I've ever heard of that. Right? Sure, it needs a pump. Sure, it needs a gearbox. Sure, it needs every line. But we'll cross that road when we get there. At least we got our 4 gallons of gas in there. Let's fire this pig off. See what happens. Just listening to all that old mill ticking away. Seems to have cleared up. It turns out that 4 gallons was enough to dilute the junk that was in the tank, and she purrs now. How much red line? All of it. Sounds good. Sounds real healthy. So I'll end up probably changing the oil in this. I'm going to crawl under, try to get that spare tire out, see what kind of shape it's in. Maybe I'll swap that spare for the blown out tire and see what happens. I can give you a tour of this fine unit though. So I just went around and checked all the lights. I don't know about brake lights because I don't have my pedal tool with me, but everything else, headlights, low beams, high beams, turn signals, running lights, they all seem to work on the front. No running lights in the rear. Wipers and washers work. What a treat. Like, would you just look at that? I can see clearly now. The crap is gone. So that's, you know, something. If we go on back into the old unit, I mean, I would have expected this to be a throwback to 1989. But I gotta tell you, aside from the gold lamp fixtures, she is not half bad. I would say this is even like on 90s era type model. Like it's a decent looking unit. And honestly, I'm kind of jealous that I even told her to pick it up. I kind of wish I told her, hey, you don't want it, it's a piece of crap Ford. And, you know, done the crappy son-in-law thing and bought it up myself, which, you know, I'm just not that kind of guy. They need it, so they need one, you know, more than I do right now. So she ended up with it, and for a steal of a deal, if I might add, I would love to have this parked on my RV pad, but to Eugene it goes. You know, I forgot to actually check what kind of tunage we had, because it appears that there is a disc in there and that it is currently playing. Let's see what we got. Oh, dope. That's definitely a copyright infringement. Let's not do that. Oh, crap. Eject. Blue Rag, Tales from the Crypt. Okay, not sure what that is, but we got that, so that's something. So it turns out that I did not have a jack on the service truck today, So I will be making a second trip out there to change that tire out. Probably go ahead and change the oil that same time. Other than that, I mean, she'll end up getting a trip permit or paying registration on it, and she'll be roadworthy. I think it'll make the trip up to Eugene probably all right. So that's going to do it for this one. I will catch you guys on the next one.